Hello, once again, I welcome you to Marriage Without Tears channel. My name is Felix Okeke. I am your marriage counselor and coach. Tonight, we are going to be discussing a subject of vital interest, and I desire that we pay ultimate attention. If you have never subscribed to this channel, please do so right away. There is a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. That way you will have the privilege of receiving productions from this channel on a weekly basis. Sometimes we come twice a week. So it is very necessary if you want to build a marriage and a home that is devoid of conflict, that is devoid of all manner of shame that is happening in the marriage scale these days, then certainly I welcome you to this channel. This is your channel. What are we discussing tonight? We are going to look at how to overcome a controlling spouse, how to overcome a controlling husband or a controlling wife. How do we overcome them? One of the greatest challenges of most married couples today is the question of adjusting to their various roles as husband and as wives. You discover that over a period of time, sometimes it takes several years for a couple to quickly adjust to their roles. What are their roles, their responsibilities as married couples? They find it difficult to adjust. Over a period of time, before you know it, you discover that one particular partner is overriding the decisions of the other. One particular partner has become overbearing, has become manipulative, has become controlling. You discover that a particular partner is being hurt in the relationship. Sometimes whatever is her opinion or suggestion or decisions are now made second place. It appears that he or she doesn't have a mind of his own anymore. Before you know it, the hurting partner finds himself in what I call an emotional imprisonment, in a place where she doesn't have a voice in the relationship anymore. Sometimes it happens not because the controlling partner desires essentially to hurt us, but that is the way they were configured. And over a period of time, because the hurting partner became complacent and didn't raise an eyebrow, before you discover it, a lot of damage has been done in the relationship. So tonight we are going to be looking at that, how to overcome a controlling spouse. The question we may begin to ask is, why do people control in a relationship? Why? I've discovered that over a period of time, people do control for various reasons. Number one, it may be an inherited vice. If a man or a woman grow up from a family where the father or the mother has this controlling tendency, where the father rules the house with an iron hand, where the father does not look at any other opinion except himself, where the father does not want to tolerate any other opinion, including that of his wife, there's a tendency for the son to pick up such a vice. And if care is not taken, when he goes into his own relationship in the future, he may start applying the same draconian measure even into his own home, even into his own marriage. It may also happen that a woman that grew up under such a relationship, where the mother is always manipulating men, including her father. The mother is a very manipulative, controlling woman. If her opinion is not taken, that woman is never at ease until whatever she says happens, until the husband is able to be manipulated to the point where he can obey her. If a woman grew up under such a roof, there is also the tendency for her to get married and begin to apply it in her new home. That is always what happens. It may be an inherited vice, and that is what we must also look at. Inherited vices. The second reason why men or women may have this controlling factor is if they have failed in a previous love relationship. Perhaps the man or a woman had a boyfriend or a girlfriend in those days, and for whatever reason, that relationship failed. And somehow they have been blaming themselves and casting aspersions even on the woman, and they are feeling, oh, if I had done this, perhaps it might not have failed. And if such a person comes into a relationship of marriage, there's a tendency for him to begin to use that as a parameter to measure his own relationship. So if there's anything he had not done before which made the previous relationship to fail, he is bound to come on the present relationship to apply it. And then before you know it, he begins to control. I have seen men who lost their spouses, and when they got married again, they want to apply the same measure on their current spouses. I have seen a man tell me straightforward, I must discipline my wife. If I don't have a way of disciplining my wife, then I am not a man. And I tell you, let me tell you also, that you cannot and you are not called to discipline your wife or to discipline your husband. You are called to love him. You are called to appreciate him. You are called to work as one together. So that is what it is. When you fail in a previous relationship, you are bound to have this trick, this kind of controlling, this kind of manipulative trick. And if care is not taken, it may bring down your marriage, it may bring down your relationship. The third reason why men may also, or why women may also be involved in controlling is, when they decide, I have seen people, for whatever reason, they use our good side to work against us. I've seen men who love their wives to the point where they can even give the wife their birthright. And because of that, because the woman sees that the man has so much devotion to her, she begins to manipulate the man. She begins to play around the man. If the man does not do this or do this for her, then she will not do this and that. And at the end, because of the love the man had, he goes ahead to do those things. He goes ahead to begin to yield to the wife. He goes ahead. He can also walk the other way around. I have seen women who married men that are younger than them, and because they want to keep them married, because they love that young man so much, they are willing to do anything for that young man. And the young man may begin to manipulate, begin to control the woman because of what is supposed to be a strength in the relationship. The love that is supposed to be a fountain of the relationship, they are using it negative. So people do that. People also can manipulate or control because it is in their nature. They want to prove that they are the man. They have the authority. They have all it takes. But I want to let you know that the authority a man has in marriage is simply called positional authority. You are simply the head of your home because God has deeded it so. God has done it so. He has desired it so. That's why he made you the head of that family. Not because you know more than the woman. Not because you are better than the woman. Not because you are more intuitive or more discerning than the woman. But because God desires a captain at the head of his sheep. So don't use that as a parameter, as a reason for you to control your spouse. No, don't control your spouse, because you are involved in a marriage of love, in a marriage of freedom. There must be freedom in your relationship. There must be joy in your relationship. And when one partner say is always the final say, the partner that is being controlled will be hurt eternally. The partner that is being controlled will never be fulfilled. There will always be something in him or her that said, I am not enough. So please, I beg of us, for some of us that are married today, please learn how to walk with your wife, with your husband in unity and in harmony. And then the joy of the marriage shall be rekindled in your life. And then as we go into how to overcome this, I want you to look at that red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. This is the channel for those who want to build effective and effectual marriages and families. One other thing that may also make a man, a woman to have this controlling tendency is when you have betrayed trust. When you have betrayed trust. When for whatever reason the man or the woman does no longer trust you. And it so happened that when a man or a woman is involved in an extramarital affair, and at the end of the day there's a confession and a forgiveness, but the underlying thing is that the capacity to fully trust, it has to be earned. And because of that, the one who is hurt in the relationship may be eager, may become a fault finder. And because of that, he may like to be in the driver's seat in the relationship. He may like to continue to be observant, to tell you what to do better and where to go and what not to do. So these are some of the reasons when there's a betrayal of trust. Let's discuss on how actually to overcome them. Do you want to overcome a controlling spouse? Now listen to me. Just listen to me. Number one, you must try to find out the reason why he or she desires to control. Why is that? Why does he want to control? What are the reasons? Is it an inherited vice from his upbringing? If it's an inherited vice from his upbringing, then what you need is to affirm your love for him. Tell him continually that whatever happened or is happening in his parents' home should not be brought into your home. That you are always there for him all through. That you are in this relationship for the whole hog. You'll be there until they do you pass. So the reality is, affirm your love for him. Let him know of the truth, that he doesn't need to apply those measures he's talking about. That's the first thing you must do. Find out what are the costs. If it is a betrayal of trust, like I said, then you must work seriously to do what? To restore the trust, to restore confidence in your relationship, if it happens to be a betrayal of trust. And of course, as you are also doing that, I also want you to know that you must, on a continual basis, motivate one another. Affirm one another continually, motivate one another. Let him know that you are in this relationship. It's not just about, it's not a short relationship, it's not a trial run. You are there for the whole hog. And as you do so, you will see him or her begin to relax. And of course, the next thing you must do is try as much as possible to set the agenda for your relationship. Don't wait, don't become complacent. I discover over a period of time that so many couples wait, and these things are happening, and it's happening on a daily basis. It's happening before you know it, 1 year, 2 years, and they're just complacent. They don't care until before you know it, the root of control and manipulation had gone deep down in their relationship, that they can no longer have a way of coming out of it. And then they begin to complain, but it has become too late. So don't be complacent. The moment you notice that your spouse is becoming manipulative and controlling, assert your position straight away. Assert your position. Let him know that your opinion is your opinion. It may be different from his own, it may be different from her own, but this is your opinion. So what we are saying actually is that you must set the limit. You must set the limit from the word go. Don't allow your self-esteem to be undermined. If by whatever reason you are being given insults, if for whatever reason you are being undermined, never return insult for insult. Because the reality is, if you return kindness for insult, over a period of time, he or she will begin to see things from your own angle. It does not matter how terrible the situation may be. If your spouse, for whatever reason, begins to insult you or begin to abase you because you have failed to yield to his or her own position, I want you to stick to your position. I want you to be very clear about your position. I want you to never, for whatever reason, feel downtrodden. Please, I always say to people, no man can control you except you give him the key to control you. No man can control you. You cannot be controlled. And that is the truth about it. So be there for him. Never return insult for insult. And of course, finally, I also want to tell us, you must make up your mind to build a home that is solid. And what does it entail? It entails knowledge. It entails study. It entails being linked with people, men and women, who are enjoying fruitful and glorious marriages. Find a matured couple who will be able to hold you accountable and be able to mentor you to become what God has called you to do in marriage. As a husband, as a wife, let them hold you accountable. Let them help you to attain that height which they are already enjoying. Very, very important indeed. Once again, no man or woman can control you except you hand over the key to him. Resist every manner of control so that you can enter into your marriage free as ever, able to bring out your opinion and share your ideas. And gradually, that marriage will become what God actually desired it to be. Once again, I thank you for keeping faith with me this week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. You are blessed.